Hello there everyone, Shibby here. Hope everyone out there's doing well, and today back once again with some more Pokemon trading card game pocket matches. Today's video I felt like trying out this Emboar deck that I put together and see if I can manage to win a game or two online with it. Now if you're unfamiliar with the Emboar card that came in the Pulsing Aura set, its whole gimmick or shtick, if you will, is that for each fire energy attached to it, it does an additional 30 damage on top of the normal 70 that it does. And that does include the 3 energy that you throw into it to get it built up to start. So you can, if you get lucky on your coin tosses, you can do 160 right out of the gate. If you are so lucky, which who knows if I will have that kind of luck or not. Probably not. So you can do a whole lot of damage quick, fast, in a hurry with Emboar if you have luck on your side. So we'll see if I can have that kind of luck. There are a few new variations on this deck as well. I've seen people paired up with Entei or Moltres and Magby. I've gone the Magby route to help try to accelerate our energy into Emboar and get additional energy into it so we can start hitting for a lot. Of course, I've also got Victini in this deck as well. So we can reset our coin tosses if we do have really bad luck. So hopefully we can do some damage and try to clear any megas or EXs that we happen to run across, and we don't have to worry about Orcoria with this deck either. So yeah, I'll have the entire deck list in the description at the video below should you want to try this deck out for yourself or simply improve upon it. I'm sure it can be made better from how I'm running it, but that's neither here or there. We're going to try it as it is constructed. There is no ranked at the moment, or at least at the time of recording this. So we're just going to go into casual and see what we can get done. But yeah, I think I've yapped on enough, and I'll be back when I find my first game. Alrighty, it's like we found our first opponent here, and unfortunately we are going to have to go first, but it's not the end of the world if we start out with Magby and Tepig, which we do get fortunate enough to have in our opening hand. We actually have the best opening hand that I could think of for this particular deck. We do have Rare Candy and Emboar in our deck as well. Now, I've opted to not run any copies of Pignite and solely rely on Rare Candy, so we'll see if that bites me in the ass or not. I'm sure it probably will at some point, but let's hope we have good luck on our side. But our opponent is taking a while to set up our board, so we'll see if there's even a match to begin with here. And there is not. Of course there's not. So, of course, I start out getting the ideal best hand that I can have for their not to be a game, so I'll probably never see see that opening hand or have that kind of luck again. But I suppose good game to the opponent in this one, and I'll be back when I find my next match. Alrighty, looks like we have found our hopefully for real first opponent here, and we do have the good luck of going second, but we don't have the good hand that we had before. We do have 2 Tepig, so that's I guess not the worst thing in the world. So we can get stocked up here if we get some coin tosses to go our way, but we don't have Victini at the start either, so hopefully we can do this the old-fashioned way. It looks like our opponent's going to take a minute to set up their board. Surely this is not going to be back-to-back games that don't work out. All right, so it is. I wonder if something is going on here. All right, well, I'll be back to see if I can find a actual game to play. All right, let's see if third time is actually the charm here. We can actually get into an actual for real game. Unfortunately, we start with Magby and nothing else. I do not like our opening hand or going first. All right, someone has played a Pokemon, so we are already better off than what we have been. All right, let's play a Pokeball here. It gave us our Tepig, but we unfortunately did not. We don't have a Rare Candy. So we are going to Copycat this. Even though I'm going to risk losing my Emboar. I'll probably get the Rare Candy, but then not get Emboar back. Or actually, I'll just straight up get neither. Alright, we'll get Victini on our bench. And we'll just leave an open spot here. And we'll stockpile our Tepig, as if we have any other choice. Alright, let's see if we can get Emboar out here before Charizard rears its ugly head. Alright, so Charizard, Turtonator. Alright, time is definitely not on our side here. Alright, we do get a Rare Candy, but again, no Emboar, so Since I have the rare candy in hand, I guess we'll oak it up and see if we can get lucky here. We unfortunately do not, which means I will probably have to spin that Copycat next turn if we don't get lucky here. All right, we are going to lose Magby here. They have their Charmeleon, so they're ready to go. Yep, I'm probably going to more than likely have to spin the Copycat. Unless I get one of my two Emboars here. But let's see what happens. Oh boy, I knew I wouldn't get it. We may have a lot in our hand. Let's oak. We'll take the chance on the oak, I guess. Good God. Okay. So Emboar has probably made its way to the bottom of my deck, it would appear. And I'm going to bet money they probably have had substantially better luck than I have and probably already have Charizard, so we are probably screwed here. But let's try not to be pessimistic, shall we? I probably should have just played the Copycat to try to get more cards, but because our hand was so big, I didn't want to funnel all that in and then still not get it. Because I feel like I'd be putting too much back. But now we just hope and pray that Charizard isn't awaiting us. This was always going to be a downside of this deck, of actually drawing into Emboar. But hopefully I can see it on the next turn. Now they do opt to Copycat here. Hopefully they are in the same shape we are in and do not bring Charizard out. But I probably won't be that lucky. That's usually not how my luck works. Alright, we lose our second Magby. And now we really don't have a choice. This has got to be Emboar. Alright, we do finally freaking get it. It's either need Emboar or need rare candy. There's really no... You're always in need of something, it feels like. But alright, and we're going to use Flame Patch as well. Get what we lost back. And just have more ways to attack. So we just need 1 heads out of 6 to bring down Charmeleon. And we are fortunately going to get lucky here. And eliminate the threat of Charizard. Nope, we're not going to reflip because knowing my luck, I would just flip 6 tails. But alright, Charmeleon is gone, so now all I have is Turtonator. So hopefully we can clear this out as well. We got 5 cards left. Alright, we really don't need to spend our Copycat. Alright, they're running Moltres too. Which actually wouldn't be bad if they switch, but I don't know if they can. Turtonator takes way too much to get out of here unless they're running Leaf. And they are not. Alright, but I guess I could play Sabrina, but is that really worth it? Alright, so we need 2 heads out of 7 coin tosses to KO this Turtonator. There's 1. Alright, we do manage to get 2, so Turtonator is gone. We don't need to reflip. I don't know if it'd be worthwhile to run Will in this deck or not. I'm not right now. I feel like that would be too much almost. Hopefully just the sheer volume and getting the chance to do it twice will be what gives us the luck. Or let us be lucky enough, I should say. Alright, they're going to let the time limit run out, it looks like. So what's it going to auto put in for him? Probably Moltres? Yep. Alright, I might Sabrina in the Turtonator, just because we need less heads to actually KO it. So that may be worthwhile. Yeah, they don't really have much they can do other than concede or try to stockpile the Turtonator. But we do get lucky and get our, I guess, our technically third victory in a row, even though I don't know how much even though I wouldn't count the first two at all, but it still counts as a win at the end of the day, I guess. But I guess a hot start for Emboar either way. But good game to that opponent. I'll back when I find my next match. Alrighty, it's like we found our next opponent here. And unfortunately, we are going to have to go first. But if we can get the Magby Tepig combination would be alright. But unfortunately, we did not start out with that. We only got half of the equation. And they're doing Arceus. And they have something on the bench they can for sure build into. Alright, please net me Tepig. Thank you very much. Alright, Professor Oak, you wouldn't happen to give me Emboar here so we can just go ahead and be ready and knock that off the old list. Alright, not gonna be that kind to me. I understand. Alright, let's get an energy into Tepig nonetheless. And they're probably more or less gonna do the same thing on their turn. Instead, they can actually get started a little bit faster because they went second, so they can go ahead and put 2 onto Arceus here. And next turn, Arceus will be ready to go. So we are now fighting against time here. So basically, we're going to have to use these 2 Magbys as meat shields, more or less, because I don't know if I'm going to get my Copycats or my other Oak. Alright, so they're running Crobat alongside this as well. Arceus is ready. Unfortunately. There's Emboar. So Emboar is ready now. Get energy into our Tepig. Play our rare candy. Now, unfortunately, we don't have Victini, so what we got is what we got in terms of coin tosses. So hopefully we're lucky enough on the first pass here. All right, we don't need any good luck off this. 1 attack's enough. Now here comes Arceus. Now Arceus doesn't have a ton of health, so if we can get absurdly lucky, we can KO it, but I do not know if that is something that can happen. Alright, so it's just each of their bench Pokemon. I was seeing if it took mine into account. Couldn't remember. So they've already got Crobat. So I believe we're instantaneously poisoned, right? If I can click on it to see. Oh no, it just is 30 damage. Please don't kill me. It almost did. Alright. Alright, let's get another energy into Emboar. We kind of have to put all of our eggs in this basket, and I would need like 100 heads in order to even hope that Emboar survives this. And we are, of course, not going to get it. Alright, so we're going to have to try to Copycat into our Victini, even though they only have 2 cards in their hand. But we need the ability to do this twice. And we're going to get it. Alright, so I need 3. Is that right? 70, 100, 130. Yep. So we need 3 heads. 3 out of the 5 of our coin tosses to be heads here. Alright, we only got 2. We are going to redo it. Try to greed out the 3. And we did get it. We win. Thank you, Victini, for giving me absurd luck that I will never see again. Alright, we made the right move, and luckily Emboar was actually able to survive the hit between Crobat and Arceus. We were very lucky they didn't have their whole bench built up, or we would have just straight up lost. Alright, I will gladly take that. We get a 2-0 start with Emboar here. And yeah, hopefully we can keep the luck going along here. But good game to that opponent. Back when I find my next match. Alrighty, it's like we found our next opponent here, and we are going first, so hopefully we can get the Magby Tepig set up here. Once again, we're just going to start with Magby. I think this is a very similar hand to what we just had a moment ago. Alright, and it's another fire deck, so this is I hope I don't wish it into existence, but this could be very realistically, be Blaziken, and we don't want that. Usually every Blaziken deck I run into is just one copy of Blaziken, like that's the only card that they have. Torchic and Blaziken, and then usually, undoubtedly, they always top deck the Rare Candy Blaziken combo, and I lose in one turn. Or 1 to 2 turns, excuse me. It usually doesn't last very long. But alright, well, we have nothing to build, so that's not good. So we are not going to be able to get started very quickly. It looks like they're running the whole kit and caboodle instead of just running Blaziken. Well, if we don't get a Tepig next turn, we lose because I don't have anything on my bench, which is very bad. And we're also behind the 8 ball because we could not build last turn. Alright, there's Tepig, so all is not lost just yet. I can at the very least get him to 3 by sacrificing Magby. Now we just need to draw into our Victini. And they also have Magby as well. Alright, we do not need Blaziken to rear his ugly head. Alright, well, down goes our Magby. But on the bright side, Emboar is built. We just have to get 1 heads to take out Torkoal. Alright, so let's go and use our fancy gold rare candy here. Get Emboar out. And hopefully Pokeball into our Victini. We did. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I keep saying teeny. I don't know if it's Victini or Victini or I don't know. I can't pronounce most things. If you've ever watched my Pokemon videos, when I start saying stuff out loud that I've always just read, I realize how wrong my enunciations are. Alright, Torkoal's down for the count. Now, if they bring in Combuskin, then I know for a fact they have Blaziken rare candy, or they have Blaziken and a couple of flame patches, so hopefully that didn't happen. Alright, they Pokeball it up. I guess now what we really need is to probably draw Sabrina. So I could force that Combuskin in. Unless they want to bring Entei, which would also be okay. Because we could get lucky enough on coin tosses where we can redo them to just take out Entei. And that would end the duel. But I do not know that is in the cards for me. Right, they play May, so they more than likely just got their Blaziken. Alright, now Blaziken... Well, actually, they did not opt to build Blaziken. They opted to build Entei, which they only need 1 energy to do what they gotta do anyhow. Alright, we didn't draw Sabrina, so they're gonna get the first hit on me here. So now we need to build up our other... Emboar, but unfortunately we're going to draw Magby. So not in an ideal situation, to be sure. I needed this for Blaziken or Entei. I did not need this for Magby. Alright, so basically what I'm hoping for now is to draw Sabrina. So we can get Entei in here, because I will not one-shot this Blaziken. I will not get that lucky twice. There's no way. Okay. Strike me and burn me. All right, we at the very least we'll survive the burn, so they have to attack into our Emboar again. And we drew a flame patch. That's not what we needed. All right, so what I'll do is put an energy into Victini. And hopefully I can lower Mega Blaziken low enough to where Victini can KO it. Which maybe I should just put it into Emboar in hindsight. Alright, 2 puts us at 130 and not in the KO range for Victini, so we do need to redo this. And we get the same result twice. So 130 is going to be the best we can do. I needed to get it down into a 40 damage range, which we're not going to be able to muster. Alright, so they're going to potentially have a backup Blaziken, which we don't want to get built up here. Yeah, we desperately needed to draw into our other Tepig and a rare candy. But I am not going to get it, so what I'm going to... Well, they have 2 points, so... I've got to bring Victini in here. Yeah, I'm not going to get this other Tepig, so we are probably done here. Building up 1 is bad enough, but we're not going to get lucky to build up 2. Yep, they're going to leaf out into Blaziken, and that's going to be all she wrote. And down goes our Victini. And the match along with it, unfortunately. Alright, so we're going to drop the game against Blaziken, but we did manage to go 2-1 really with Emboar. I guess 4-1 if you want to count the 2 matches that didn't happen, but and I will. Alrighty, so I do believe I'm going to make this the last duel of the video. Emboar, I think, is pretty solid. I think there might be better ways to build this or tinker with it. I don't know if it would be better to run it with Moltres or do the Magby strat that I gave a shot with this video. But yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments if there's a better way to run Emboar, or just any deck ideas if you think that might be interesting for me to try. And if I have the cards, I will build it. But yeah, like I said before, I'm going to end the video here. If you made this far, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.